Earlier this week, I started a 90-day challenge to see if I can build a small income in retirement through Etsy. The goal is simple, $300 a month. Today, I want to show you exactly how I'm planning to try to do that step by step. If you're new here, my name is Brenda. I'm 67, recently retired, and I'm documenting my journey of trying to build a small online income through Etsy using digital products and simple online tools. No gurus, no hype, just me trying to figure it out as I go. Why it matters, why $300 matters. This isn't about getting rich. It's about $300 extra every month in retirement that could make a real difference. It could cover a portion of groceries, a small car payment, or just give a little breathing room, possibly even some extra money in the savings for an emergency fund. So the goal in this challenge is simple. Can I build a small but real income stream online? To do that, I had to get realistic about the numbers and figure out the math behind the plan. Most small Etsy products bring in about $3 to $4 profit per sale. So if the goal is $300 a month, that means I need to bring in approximately 100 sales per month. And for that to happen, people actually have to be able to find my product amongst the millions and millions of Etsy sellers, which means one, I need a lot of listings in my shop, and two, I need to find specific niches that have low competition and high Etsy search. Here's the strategy I'm going to test for the next 90 days. Step 1, research. I use tools like eRank and Etsy Search to look for keywords that had good search volume but relatively low competition. I also compared the keywords with Etsy's search suggestions to see what people are actually typing in. Step 2, choosing product categories. From the research, I narrowed things down to 3 main product categories: checklists, planners, and invitations or event templates. Then I started narrowing those down into smaller niches. Now, you might think those are pretty broad categories, and they are. You're exactly right. The next part of my research was to narrow those down into smaller niches where I think that I can get some visibility. To do that, I used eRank. I searched a specific keyword, like checklists. eRank will show you all the related searches, and in eRank, you can then take a look at average number of searches, average clicks, click-through rate, and then competition, Etsy competition. And from there, you can narrow down to the key categories that I was looking for, which was the low competition and high search volume. And so I was able to narrow that down into several different products that I thought might make sense. The next step, step 3, was to build a product list. So far, I've created a working list of about 60 possible products to create. And honestly, I spent a full day doing the research, using the tools I mentioned, eRank and Etsy Search, and a little help from ChatGPT. If you're not using AI in whatever endeavor you're going after, you're really missing the boat. ChatGPT saved me a ton of time. I was able to download lists out of eRank, do screenshots out of Etsy, upload all of that information into ChatGPT, who then took all that data and analyzed it and gave me a list of potential target products to build. Step 4, focus on digital products. My main focus will be products like checklists, invitations, event templates, and planners. The first 3 are fairly easy to create, and I should be able to get a number of them done fairly quickly. The last one, planners, can be more complex. It just depends on what target you have. I'll be digging into my research again when I get to planners, looking at the niches and then doing additional research on those niches to determine what that product needs to look like. I've designed, full disclosure, I've designed some planners in the past. I really enjoy it, but they are more complex and they take additional work to complete. The reason I like digital products is that once they're created, they can sell over and over and over again without any inventory. Essentially, you create the product, you list it on Etsy, you include a link in your listing. Once the customer purchases the product, they get an immediate download of the product, and that's it. For the most part, you're done. Occasionally, you might have somebody who has an issue with a link or something like that, but for the most part, that's it. That's the end. So you just keep selling that product over and over again, which is fabulous. Just really incredible. Step 5. So my goal for this challenge was to create around 100 listings over the next 90 days. As I mentioned earlier, that sounds like a lot, but many digital products are fairly simple to create once you have a system in place. Doesn't mean you want to rush through in order to sell a product on Etsy, because there are so many people selling products on Etsy. You really need to take your time and create good quality products. And if you can, try to include added value. And what I mean by added value is if 20 other people have a 60th birthday invitation out there and they all look fairly similar in terms of what they offer, what can you add to your product that makes it stand out above everyone else's? And so I'll be looking for those things to add to my products. In step 6, I'm trying to keep it simple with the tools that I'm using. I'm mainly using Canva, as I mentioned earlier, and Etsy SEO search tools. I'm also using eRank and a little bit of AI to speed up the process. Again, AI is great for analyzing data. It's great for a number of things, but it's really good for analyzing data. So be sure and use that if you can. Right now, I'm testing things like party invitations, birthday invitations, planners of all types, and checklists. Some of these will work, and some probably won't, but that's part of the experiment. So what happens next? In the next few videos, I'm going to show you the products that I'm creating, how long they take for me to make, and whether or not they will actually sell. And because a lot of YouTube videos talk about making money online, but very few people actually show the process, I'm going to do that here. I'm going to take some time and walk you through what I do and how I create things, and then whether or not it works for me. So that's the plan. The goal, as I said, is $300 a month in Etsy income in 90 days. We'll see if it works. If you're curious about building a small online income later in life, follow along and subscribe, and be sure and comment. If you've ever tried Etsy yourself, I'd love to hear what worked for you in your comments. Thanks for being here. Look forward to seeing you in the next video. Bye.